come to a panel, and the name of the panel is Policing and Community Relations, Fostering a Shared Vision for Safe Communities by Applying Principles from Prevention Science. You know you are at a panel with some very thoughtful people. We are at a point in policing where we need some thoughtful people to think about how we can improve as police agencies. I can tell you that my experience very early in my career was I joined the police department in 1989. In 1991, we had the Mount Pleasant riots. How many of you are familiar with that? The Mount Pleasant riots? What happened in Mount Pleasant was we had a rookie police officer who attempted to arrest a Salvadoran immigrant. The police officer was able to get one handcuff on the person that they were arresting him for a very minor offense. I think it was a drinking offense. And an altercation ensued, and as a result, the police officer ended up shooting the Salvadoran immigrant. And he was paralyzed as a result of the shooting. That was on May 5th, 1991, Cinco de Mayo. As a result of that incident, we had riots in the streets of the District of Columbia. And the riots went on for 2 or 3 days. I think we had 230 arrests. And then that riot was analyzed, and what I take away in my career from what happened on that particular day was a failure of the Metropolitan Police Department to communicate with a community that they serve. And I think that one of the underlying threads that you will see that will run through most of the conversation today is communication between the police and the communities that they serve. I believe that a trusting relationship is the cornerstone of American policing, and I'm very happy that these folks have come out here to discuss ways that we can improve that. Let me just talk about a couple of things that I would like you to think about as our panelists talk today. You will hear a lot about implicit bias and cultural sensitivity training for police officers. I believe that that is critically important. One of the things we teach our officers in that training is that it doesn't stop at the police. In fact, the call takers, our Office of Unified Communications, which takes our calls, they have implicit biases. The people who are making the calls to the police, they have implicit biases. So we need to consider that when we're considering how we can improve policing, is that those biases are not just your police officers, but it's all of our community. One of the things that we are very proud of on the Metropolitan Police Department is the diversity of our department actually almost identically reflects the diversity of the community that we serve. The one demographic that we don't match, can anyone guess?
Women.
Very good, who said that? and that,
but you have a higher percentage than most.
Thank you for saying that, but it's not even close to 51, where it should be. And so I say that to say, and this is for young people in general, and our women, is why are they not attracted to policing in America? This is a very noble and honorable profession. Our police officers spend the large majority of their day helping people. This is a service profession. And why can't we get young people interested in it? I don't think the last couple of years and some of the conversations about policing that we have seen, because some of the actions of our police officers that we have seen have been highlighted in a very large way. One of my other things, and this is my personal experience with those that I have talked to in the field of academia, is that I don't necessarily believe that they are steering our young people who are college educated into the profession of policing. And I don't know why that is. I could be wrong about that. But to the extent that that is occurring, particularly with our young people of color, that's something that we all need to think about changing. If you want to change a profession, if you want people, good people, working in that profession for the right reasons, we need to consider about getting our young people engaged in that. The last thing that I will say, I'm going to say two more things. It's critically important, if you want a police department to be responsible and responsive and empathetic to your communities, is that you have healthy police officers. And when I say healthy, they need to be healthy in body, in mind, and in spirit. And that's one of the things that we have a responsibility, the chief and I, as police leaders, is to make sure that happens. And to the extent that folks in the community can assist us with that, it is greatly appreciated. And you know what the one thing you can do to a police officer to improve their spirit? Every now and then, just say thank you. Say thank you to a police officer. The last thing I will say is this is a beautiful city. I love this city. Welcome to Washington, D.C. Unfortunately, I cannot stay, but I will certainly be seeing the video when I have an opportunity. Thank you and welcome to Washington, D.C.